Welcome back to yet another Vincent Drug unboxing. And today's installment is going to be kind of the beginning of a new theme here, because I came across a missing piece of information that I sorely needed for finding a lot of the little odds and ends that are in this display. On the shelf by the Myers mask, there are a lot of like little teeny tiny Halloween random bits. You know, kind of odds and ends you'd find in a party store or a Halloween store, or I guess a normal store near Halloween. And for quite a while I was looking at certain brands specifically because, you know, typing in vintage Halloween whatever into eBay does get you a lot of results. So I was apparently looking at the wrong brand for some of this stuff. So we're gonna get this guy open here and kick this off after knocking my knife into the tripod and ruining the shot. But yeah, so this is kind of the start. I'm assuming this is probably going to be at least a 3 unboxing episode, and to be quite honest, this is probably going to be the most legit item in this episode because there are a couple pieces I got that are placeholder items, which I'll get into a little bit later. Alright, at this point, like, it's funny opening some of this stuff because a lot of it has that smell of old Halloween decorations, which was probably just the smell of somebody's nasty garage, but it's now a recognizable scent as I open items. So here is our next item. This is a set of 8 party pumpkins. You could see that if it wasn't for the sticker on there, which I'm probably going to try to remove that sticker to make it look a little more like it does in the film. And I apologize, my camera wants to focus on everything but this packaging. But yeah, there are 8 little pumpkin pails in here, little plastic blow mold pumpkin pails. Nothing really going on the backside there. And this is from a company called Amscan, which from what I could see, it looks like they might be associated with Hallmark. I probably should have researched them a little bit before starting this, but they will be a reoccurring theme because this was the brand that I couldn't figure out. The company Empire, who makes blow molds and a lot of other things, they were the ones I kept seeing coming up for party pumpkin packs like this, but theirs were either 4 or 6 pumpkins. And it's very clear in the movie, you see this witch logo in the corner, and it's 8 pumpkins. So, yeah, this sits next to the Myers mask when he grabs it off the shelf. I believe technically you could see 2 of these. One is right next to the mask, and the other one is just a little bit further down from it. But yeah, this was one that I was just, it's so prominent in the scene, just like the horrible skull. It's very prominent near the Myers mask, so I definitely wanted to make sure I got this in my collection. And I am very thankful that I was able to find out what the brand was, what these were, and it's funny, like, within knowing that it was Amscan, I found like 2 of these for sale in like 20 minutes of searching. So they were out there, I just had the wrong search terms out there. And it's weird because I have a saved search, I think, for party pumpkins. Maybe I don't. Maybe it was just for, it might have just been for Empire. I might have been so sure they were Empire that I was looking for the wrong thing in my saved search. But yeah, I did a search for Amscan Vintage and these popped right up. So very cool. So yeah, I'm going to get these over into the display and we'll take a closer look at them there. Before I try to take this sticker off, I did just want to document what this looks like here. Specifically the price tag, because I kind of find these funny to look at. This was 98 cents when it was new and sold at a place called Duckwall Alco. A lot of these have stickers that are just from places I've never heard of. And I don't know if they were just local places and that's why I'm not familiar with them or what it was. But yeah, just want to make sure that was documented because I think that's kind of fun. I swear every time I add an item to this display, it just makes me happier and happier. So here they are, kind of tried to level them out about where they were in the movie next to Mikey's head there. And as I mentioned, in the movie there are a couple sets of these. I think I'm just going to leave it at the one because honestly the other one would have been where the Decorama is, and as I mentioned before, it's sticking together 2 different displays, more than 2 honestly to make this, so don't really need a second pair. I actually had found a second pair and had it sitting there waiting to buy, and I don't think I need it. I mean, I could always buy it and have 2 of them on one peg, but yeah, I don't know. Don't really need to do that, I don't think. And just to zoom in and show you, there it is without the sticker on there. I did also kind of glue back down some of the ripped areas so that it looks a little more intact. It's still a bit beat up, and has some, age to it. But I don't mind that so much. I'm just kind of happy that it's there. And yeah, more or less in the right spot. I feel like I just say the same thing every time I start a new clip of this. It's like, oh, we're back with another unboxing. Yeah, I mean, what else is there on this? I was going to see this series, but like, that's the whole freaking channel now. So, yeah. So this feels dumb. So this is, I think I mentioned previously, a placeholder item, but also kind of almost kind of research, I guess, in a weird way. So in Vincent Drug, when you see Myers grabbing his mask, right below his mask is a very similar looking bag of spider web. This is the stretchy spider web stuff you put up on your house or whatever. And it looks very similar to this, except that instead of it being the orange packaging, it is a blue packaging. So there you can see the logo from the front. You can see the same little like witch creature, scarecrow, whatever it is. The text looks to be the same. It is interesting. I think the person who listed this one said like Stretchin's spiderweb. And looking at it, I think it might just be the font. I think it might say Stretching Spiderweb, but it's just a very strange font choice there. There is the back, and not a whole lot more there. It's made in Taiwan. So no real brand or year that I could see on this. But like I said, outside of the color, it does seem to match. So I was kind of buying this in hopes that it would give me a little more information on what the real brand was or something else I could search to try to find the blue colored version. I don't think that's really going to help. I'm not even really sure what the name is or what any brand on here is. So I'll just have to keep searching. But it'll sit as a stand-in for the time being in my collection, and then when I find a blue one, I'll put it in. Very cheap, small item to add in. It's an item that it's, inexpensive enough that if I have to rebuy it, and I hope I do eventually have to rebuy it and get the right thing, that it's not that big of a loss. And it's not like stretchy spiderweb goes bad. I could either sell it to somebody else who wants a vintage bag of it, or just use it. So I think that's vaguely where you would see it in the movie. It's probably a little too high up. There was a little more space between the bottom of the Myers mask and it, but that's about as close as I'm going to get it. That's also kind of where it's at in relation to both the Myers mask and the Party Pumpkins. So that kind of all works out there. In the movie, the view you see is maybe a little more like this, where, obviously, like I said, it's a little bit down. So there, we'll try it just a tad lower, one peg down from where it was. And that's kind of what you see in the movie, is you could make out, spider webs and all that. You can really see the label pretty well. You don't really see the contents of the bag. Can't even tell on the one in the movie if it does have the spider web kind of printed on the bag that we have here. I would assume it's probably the same, but yeah, you can't really see that in the film. You just really see this. And actually looking at it, more or less, I got 4 items here roughly in the correct position. So the Myers mask, the horrible skull, the Party Pumpkins, and the spider web are all vaguely how they're arranged in the movie when you see Mikey grabbing his mask. So this is another cool little addition here that I'm pretty excited about. I have been putting all these items on these longer pegs that I bought at Lowe's, and this one seemed kind of weird, so I didn't want to cover up too much or accidentally hit the bottom of the Myers mask. So I do have a few short ones, and I added on there. I don't think it's really too much of a visible difference. I know when I worked retail, we kind of switched out the length of these things depending on what we were displaying anyway. And I probably could put almost all of these on short ones with the exception of maybe the Myers mask and maybe the horrible skull. But we'll see as this thing progresses if I'm going to go down the rabbit hole of changing out the length of the peg hooks. Got a couple other items coming that probably will use the smaller ones anyway too, so we'll see those in the near future, hopefully. This next unboxing is similar to that last one in that it is going to be a bit of a placeholder item. So these are some vintage Halloween stickers. The ones in the movie I have not been able to find anywhere. I have not even been able to find images of them outside of the Vincent Drug scene. It's compounded by the fact that you can't even see the full sticker sheet in the movie. You just see bits of it, and then bits of it are very dark in a corner. In the scene where Michael grabs his mask, there are 3 examples of the sticker sheet around the mask. One is very prominent. You can see pretty much most of the stickers on it. And then if you kind of look at the other two, you can kind of piece together all the stickers that are on the thing, but none of them show much above like here on there. So you can see there's some text, but you can't really read what the text says. So it's made finding them very difficult. When I went down the rabbit hole finding out about the Amscan stuff that I can need for a couple other bits of this collection, I realized that they had some old sticker sheets that looked like the ones in the movie. Obviously this is very different stickers. The color's different. I'm 90% sure the word at the top of the sticker sheet in the movie does not say stickers there. It says something that looks like it starts with an E, I think. So it just makes it even more annoying to try to figure out what the hell it actually says. But the details I can pick out is that it is a sheet of something stapled in the upper two corners, which matches on this. And then there's this little nub at the bottom that kind of holds them to the cardstock. So while it actually really doesn't look all that much like the one in the movie, in terms of imagery, I guess, it does have some matching details. My thought process also was that if I can't find the real thing, having these, local, I can try to figure out like how to Photoshop together the original one. I need higher quality images. I even looked at the Blu-ray, like even there it's kind of grainy and you can't really see the detail too well. So I don't know if that 4K transfer maybe is more cleaned up. I don't have a 4K player or a TV, so I don't know if I could even test that anytime soon. But I'm hoping maybe I could actually try to get some higher res images of what was on here, Photoshop together a thing, and have it hanging that looks more like what's in the movie. Once again, don't know what the text is up here, but I could also just fudge it based on what's on this. But yeah, I got two of these. They came in a set on a... I think this is the first thing I got from Etsy for this display. I've been searching Etsy for a while for various things. I think it's the first time I've actually had like luck on Etsy finding anything, and it's not even really a real item for this. But yeah, these are going to go on there as a placeholder until I find the real thing or can make something similar. So there's the stickers placed in with the rest of everything. I tried to get them as close to the position they're in that one shot as I could. So aside from replacing the two placeholder items in here, there's really only one more major piece for the mask grabbing scene that I want to pick up. And then from there, it's kind of more just finding some more of the random stuff from around Vincent Drug to add in. Which honestly, there's not a whole lot more room in here, so it's going to be interesting trying to get the rest situated into this display. I'm definitely happy with how this kind of push to get the lower part of this display set up is gone. I am anxious to get back to doing more of the stuff in the upper section of the display, but it definitely looks good kind of filled out like this. Though I do still have all this blank area down on the shelf at the bottom that I could definitely fill in with some random bits. And I'm sure that's not quite perfect, but that is about the closest I can get to the shot right now from the movie. So kind of ignoring everything to the extreme right of the screen, I got the two sticker packs kind of close to where the other ones were in the movie. The Horrible Skull's about on point. The Party Pumpkins are pretty much where they were. Kind of made me annoyed to put the sticker in front of the Party Pumpkins a little bit, but that is how it is in the movie. And the spider webs are more or less where they would go as well. So in the film, kind of where the teeth are up here would be another sticker pack. There'd be another thing of Party Pumpkins kind of over here in the bottom right. And then up here, kind of between the other sticker pack and the mask, there's another Horrible Skull. So those are all bits that I don't have, and I don't know if I will get them, especially the Horrible Skull. They're kind of hard to come by. So honestly, I don't know if I'll pick up that much of it because, as I said, this is already getting pretty full, and I don't really see the need to have that many repeats of certain things. Like the stickers, I kind of like having them repeat because they are really prominent in that scene. But the other stuff's more like the periphery of everything. I think if I had the opportunity to get another Horrible Skull, I probably would, just because I think they're cool, and it was kind of, I don't know, an obsessive piece for me of this. But beyond that, I'm pretty happy with how this is sitting right now. So I honestly thought that those stickers, the placeholder stickers, were going to be capping off that last video. But immediately after receiving those, I found something else on eBay. It's not necessarily going to go into the collection itself, but it's going to help with that part of it, I guess. So I did order it. I saw dimensions on the listing, and I guess I just didn't pay any attention to them because I thought it was going to be something about the size of that sticker sheet, and it definitely isn't. So I got some cardboard, and this becomes the segment of Watch Phil Accidentally Stab Himself. Alright, so I don't think this was part of the listing, but they packed it in I don't know if it's an actual vintage Halloween bag or if it just has that style to it. It's probably not that old because it looks relatively modern, I guess. I don't know. It's probably really not that old, but it's kind of a nice way to package this up. Alright, so it looks like some of the stuff's falling out of this. But what we have here is a sheet of little cardboard decorations for Halloween. It's another Amscan product, like the stickers I'm looking for, and if you are familiar with those stickers from Halloween 4, it's a lot of the same clip art here. And yes, I'm at the point in this project where I'm getting excited over clip art. But the sticker sheet used in the movie has 6 different images on it. So basically in the bottom right corner, we have this mummy design. Above it, we have this cat and pumpkin. On the bottom left, we have this skeleton in his grave over here. And above him, we have this cat with the witch's hat. So that takes care of 4 of the 6. The image from the movie is really low res. I even pulled it up on my Blu-ray on my big ass TV. Can't really see the images very well. Honestly, until I had this to compare it to, I didn't even know what some of those images really were. And then like seeing it in a much clearer format, I was able to be like, okay, that's definitely that. So my plan is basically using those placeholder stickers I got in the previous clip, along with this clip art, or these pieces, basically scan these, make high-res copies of these digitally, same with the sticker sheet, and then replace the stickers on that sheet with these stickers, or these images, basically. And then be able to print out something, you know, it'd still be like a 2D piece, but at least have something that has the look of the sticker sheet from the film. There were a few other bits in here. I don't think any of them were relevant. There's this 2-headed trick-or-treat thing. I think there's a couple of those in here. And then a couple of these please knock things. So while it does leave 2 stickers unaccounted for on the sheet, I believe I've found the Headless Horseman design, or at least something that looks very similar to the Headless Horseman online. But it's a top right sticker that I'm still a little unsure even what the design is. My best guess at this point is that it may be some kind of like side view of a coffin or a wooden sign of some type, but you can only really see it in one of the 3 sticker sheets in the scene, and just the details very washed out in the movie because that's not where the focus is. So if anybody knows what that is and can help push me in the direction of at least finding a high-res image of that sticker, that would be amazing, because then I could actually finish this thing out. I did also mention that the text on the top of the sticker sheet is something I can't figure out what it says. So that also is kind of a problem. But for now, since it will be digital, I could print more anyway. I'm probably going to keep the text that's on the stand-in sticker sheet, fill in the bottom basically, probably add the staples for real on there just to give it that little bit of 3D texture, and try to make that work for something. So yeah, this will be a little bit of an ongoing project to get this all together. If I am successful with this and it comes out well, I will try to make this publicly available somehow so that other people can at least have a stand-in for the sticker sheet, because, yeah, I mean, I've only been searching for about a year now for any of this stuff, and some of the details are more recent than that. But I've not seen this particular sticker sheet show up. Even when I Google just for still images, not even like listings where you could buy it, I have not been able to find this sticker sheet. So, yeah, it kind of remains a bit of a weird mystery in some strange way. So, anything I could do to try to piece together bits of it, I think that will be cool. So, yeah, that'll be the actual end for this video. Nothing to actually put into the display right now. But I will keep you guys posted on how this goes.